Everyone is talking about Ripple and the $125 million bill. We're going to talk about how that could end up back in the pockets of those at Ripple, and more importantly, what's going on with the price. The Bitcoin price is down, the market's down, what's happening with XRP. We got you covered with your daily XRP content. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. Let's get into it. So we know that Ripple unlocked a significant amount of XRP today to the sum of around 1 billion coins. Now, I imagine quite a bit will be locked back up. Is the bill of 125 million going to come this week? And everyone said the price would dip once again back down to 43 cents. Well, so far, so good. It hasn't. It's in line with the rest of the market. What's interesting is where we see some liquidity start to be built here on the 1 monthly XRP chart. You can see there just around 54 cents, a significant amount of liquidity. So we may see a little bit of a push down in price. You can see how we wicked up, grabbed this upper range of liquidity and then came back down. It's a very obvious thing for Bitcoin, and it's a very obvious thing for some of these bigger cryptocurrencies. These are where market makers have the opportunity. I just talked about it in my previous Bitcoin video, how some of these market makers, some of these big trading firms, hedge firms are trying to either A, liquidate people, or B, try and buying the dip. And it's very obvious that this is going on. I would argue it's very obvious with XRP as well. So people predicting a 43-cent Ripple unlocking of tokens worth 559 million. Like I said, it hasn't happened, but this is worth noting. It is actually a significant unlock, but it's still going to go back in. That's my opinion. Again, it is only my opinion for people who are going to hit me in the chat, but the reality is we did actually see a significant amount over August and the price came down. And don't forget, we pumped on the back of that Ripple announcement and ultimately what we deemed would be the end of all this turmoil. That wasn't the case. We want to talk about that in just a minute, but we'll keep you updated with exactly what's happening, how much is relocked, what they do with it, how much has been spent, etc., etc. This will obviously play out as the next few days do come along. But what I want to talk about specifically in this video is the appeal. Ripple obviously had that judgment settlement that said that it wasn't a security and that ultimately the bill was 125 million, and everyone's talked about why the SEC hasn't appealed. Well, I have the answer, or at least I think I do anyway. So the rumor mill here is that if the SEC were to appeal, this isn't a one-sided argument. This would be therefore factual evidence put back in front of a judge to decide what the outcome will be. Well, this could lead to some problems for the SEC. We know recently they've decided to go after FTX creditors and tell them they're not allowed stable coins. Well, the reality here is that Fred Ripsoley specifically saying here that if the SEC went after an appeal against Ripple, if they lost, they may have to pay back the 125 remittance firms, the $125 million fine, along with statutory interest. Is this a risk the SEC want to take? Well, the reality is no, they don't want to take this risk, but I did think it was very interesting to think about. If they were to appeal on grounds, it would go to court and run all the way back through the notion again. If they were to lose, they would pay 125 million back to Ripple plus interest. So what does that mean? Why is it important? Well, the reality here is that that should give you enough proof and evidence that Ripple simply will not get an appeal. The SEC will not go after them. They would rather take 125 million and go and sue somebody else than, in my opinion, go after Ripple. And I think this is definitely worthwhile noting. So when we talk about the price when it comes to XRP, we are, and like I've said before, still trading within this channel. And actually, you could argue right now in the smaller time frame, we are trading within this channel here, which I think is a very interesting channel to have. And more importantly, we are on the lower end of this right now. Again, the 200 exponential moving average, a lot of the moving average is sitting down there. This, obviously, the key date we're looking for, September 18th, could absolutely be a very bullish moment, not just for cryptocurrency, the wider market as well. We also got the S&P 500 rallying to nearly all-time highs. Tomorrow is going to be a key day for all markets because it's going to give us a sentiment of where the week's going to go. But I think we could see a Ripple finishment. I think they could see a settlement agreement. The payment is done, and I think we all move on. I don't think the SEC come out and sue them through risk of losing it all back. And I think it's going to be a very interesting week if we were to see some positive catalysts in the market. My opinion, I think it's going to be pretty flat. September the 18th, though, get ready. I think it's going to be pretty explosive. But If the SEC do sue them, get ready, because it could be even crazier. It might end up with that appeal and a battle for $125 million. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. What's your view on Ripple's price action and that token unlock? What do you think is going to happen? As always, let me know in the comments down below. And if you haven't already and you enjoyed this content, hit that subscribe button, turn your notification bell on, and do me a quick favor, give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.